At this time, across the league, a number of guys who might be in whatever kind of contract strife or on the trade block, so to not speak about them specifically, would you guys constantly be monitoring all discussions?
I think that we have to. Again, it would go for the ability to acquire good players, good people, and I feel like it can help us at any position. So, I don't know what those situations are throughout the league, but I'm all for trying to make the roster better any chance that we can.
We're all for that too, Braves. We're with you. In fact, I got some big names here I'm looking at. I mean, Steelers, T.J. Watt. Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson. We know they don't pay any damn body if he played on defense, apparently. Jalen Ramsey with the Dolphins. How about this one? Say it louder for the people in the back. Commanders wide receiver stud. Scary Terry McLaurin. And then I'm going to throw this one in. He's not a holdout, but Kyle Pitts, the tight end with the Falcons.
Could be feeling all the feels of the holdouts.
He wants to get paid. They're not really giving him the bag. Now, he did report to camp. He's injured right now anyway, so he's there just hanging out. But he's not happy, so that's potentially a situation to watch there.
Yep.
That's a lot of star players I just told you that are holding out right now of these mini camps.
Yep.
Should the Patriots go get any of them, some of them, all of them?
I won't say all of them.
Why not? They got the money.
I know, but you got to be fiscally responsible,
Facts.
as my mother would say.
Facts.
Look, top of the chart, you hear the name T.J. Watt, you get an inkling of hope, a sparkle in your eye to think that somebody as destructive and punishing and consistent as a T.J. Watt, as a Watt brother, period, could be on your roster.
Yeah.
Sell everything and bring him here. Trey Hendrickson, look,
Didn't you just say your mom says to me? Sell everything.
Right. Oh, look, don't we lose our minds for love? So I've been told. So the right man can make you lose all your minds.
All the rules go out the window.
No, but I mean, look, I was a big J.J. Watt girl growing up
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And T.J. Watt, like I said, the consistency, the leadership. So
Yes.
even outside of what he does so well on the field,
Right.
I mean, he's such a vocal leader and inspiring guy.
Yeah.
So having him on your roster just gives you so many different benefits outside of what he can do on the field. Jalen Ramsey. Now, I'm going to sidestep this one.
Why?
Initially was a pretty decent fan of his, especially because he came out of FSU
That's right.
along the same class area as my brother. His attitude. I don't think that he will fit the persona of what Vrabel is trying to make the new identity and culture of this team.
Kind of a diva.
He can be kind of a diva, and the tantrums. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear whose fault it was outside of your own when a situation goes down a particular way.
Facts.
And that's just something that is tended to become like, part of his thing. Now, can he be good? Could he be an asset? Yes. But like anything that can add extra to it, I don't think we need it. We're not that desperate.
Trying to establish a culture here.
At the same time as, like I said, Patriots are one of the few teams in Boston that are owning rebuild versus retool, retweak, all these other finesse words to just say the same freaking thing.
Right.
So, wide receiver, are you kidding me? Like, would you call him Scary Terry?
Scary Terry.
Love that.
Yes.
Again, sell everything. Bring him here because, I mean, while some people might see a little bit of glimmers of hope in some of the wide receivers of this room, you're talking about a guy who will immediately level up this wide receiving group. And to have that as an opportunity and an option for a Drake May, I mean, it's just exciting. And you're talking about a guy that just worked with a young quarterback. So being able to find that rhythm, being able to give your quarterback that confidence, being accountable, being reliable. I just love everything that happened in Washington for him and how he can bring that success over to the Patriots.
I completely agree. He's a leader. He's someone that's a grown-up in the room. He's a complete wide receiver on the field case.
Yeah.
Blocking, going across the middle.
Oh my gosh, some of the
route
blocks
running.
we
That's
saw
what I'm
this
saying.
season, I'm just
and
like,
he's not the biggest
who
guy.
are you?
And he's a dog.
Yeah.
Going against the middle, making catches. 3rd and 7, go to him. He's going to get it done for you. You know what I mean? He's
and third
a
in
complete,
everything we need help with.
We need everything help on the outside. So this is someone, and by the way, I don't think, while we're talking about T.J. Watt and give up the farm to get him, which you would have to.
Yeah.
I think for Terry McLaurin, I kind of think that price will be fair. I could see a 3rd, maybe a 2nd round pick, which I would cringe if I had to give up a second, but I would do it. And then probably I would think the Commanders want a receiver back for body's sake. He's not going to be Terry McLaurin, but you're going to need a body back at that position. So is it a Butte? Is it a hell? I like him, but is it a Pop Douglas? Is it Kendrick Bourne? Like it could be any of those dudes, and I'd say yes to all of them. Every single. There's not a receiver you could name outside of Stephon Diggs, because if you paid Diggs, you should keep him. And then the Love Boat happens, and you still have him. So, like, you obviously want Stephon Diggs. And by the way, Stephon Diggs and a Terry McLaurin's not a bad 1-2 punch.
It's not.
So any receiver not with the last name Diggs could be on the table if I were the Patriots. I would.
I'd keep Pop Douglas.
I like him.
Bourne can go.
But I would trade him. I like Pop. But if Washington said, Terry, you got to pay him and give us a 3 in Pop Douglas, see ya, Pop. Thanks. But I need this guy. So,
right.
But we'll see. We'll see what none of these dudes could be going anywhere. TJ Watt's going to get re-signed by the Steelers. Let's just be honest about that.
He is their identity, so that would be wild.
Yes, Jalen Ramsey's older, so who knows? But I agree with you about the fit. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Scary Terry, I think the Patriots should do whatever it takes to get him, but there's going to be other teams that want him. And likely, I also think the Commanders.
But Washington's attractive right now.
It is.
You know?
I would think they'll figure it out and pay him. Kyle Pitts and Trey Hendrickson are probably the only two that I really think there'll be a market for where the teams that have them are shopping them. I think if you're the Falcons, with Michael Penix coming into his own now, you're still trying to figure out the Kirk Cousins situation. They can't pay Kyle Pitts. The guy's always hurt. He's up and down in terms of production. Is he good? We're not sure. 1 year, he gave us a 1 year where like he's good and then he disappeared. I just don't think they're going to pay him.
Yeah.
So maybe the Patriots can get involved there. And then Trey Hendrickson. They got to move him. They don't have any money, honey. They can't pay anyone other than Burrow, Higgins, and Chase. And it's a problem.
The list of who potentially possibly can bleed them out even further, Hendrickson is not there.
They're not paying him.
No, I couldn't see them paying him. You've got people being more vocal about their payday in terms of like them being around a bit longer.
Yes.
And at this point, I think that the money that Trey Hendrickson is going to be looking for and the capability of like what the Patriots can offer.
They can offer him the money, Case. It's just a matter of what would a trade look like? You know, like what are you giving up? Because here's the thing. The Bengals are desperate. Like, you have to trade this guy.
Yeah.
You don't have money to pay him. He is ticked off because he's been your best defensive player for many moons now.
Right.
So that's kind of a desperate, like, what negotiating,
like,
if you're the Bengals, what leverage? Yeah, that's what I mean. What leverage do you have? You don't have any.
But you can't make a bleed out negotiation with the Patriots. Like, we're helping you move a piece that's going to be a pain for you.
Right.
And kind of give you some wiggle room so that you can finally get things back on track and not have players running you through the mud publicly.
Well, then I want you in the negotiating room.
And their ego is going to have to be tempered here a little bit because at the end of the day, Bengals, who are you?
I need you in the negotiating room because that's true. If I'm the Patriots, I'll give you a whatever draft pick it is, but give me the player so we can get them paid and get in here.
Exactly.
They don't really have any negotiating. So if you're the Patriots,
it's more helpful for them to get the cap space and the increase
and get the headache out.
Than to sit there and try to puff their chest at a situation.
Yeah.
No.
That's true.